Welcome to this week's episode of Coffee with a Side of Economics. This week we join Dr. Shankar Gamiri as he discusses the economics of microfinance.
This coffee is really good. I wonder where it came from, and maybe it came through one of those farms financed through microfinance. And that's the topic of this little talk today. Microfinance is a big topic, major topic in economics, and especially in development economics, which deals with management of financing, management of money in a small scale. And the objective of microfinance is to help the poor, especially in developing countries, by establishing businesses, generating employment, and that would create more income for the poor. And a lot of the topics also go beyond that and talk about women empowerment in developing countries. So there are various versions of it. The modern microfinance institutions began in the 1970s in Bangladesh, which was started by Grameen Bank, that was started by Nobel laureate Muhammad Yunus. The objective was to help the poor people and eradicate poverty. Now, a major question is whether microfinance works or not. And this is where impact evaluation comes into play, where we create two different groups. One group we call the treatment group, where they receive microfinance, and the other group is the control group, where they don't receive microfinance. And we look at the outcome before and after the treatment is provided, which is microfinance. But the tricky part to this impact evaluation is the establishing a counterfactual, where you would have to look at what would have happened to those who received the treatment if they had not received that treatment. So that's a tricky part, and it involves comparing before and after the fact between the two groups. If somebody wants to experience this in the real world situation, I take study abroad groups to Nepal and Peru. That's where we study the impact of microfinance in rural areas of those countries. I'm taking a group of students to Peru in May of 2019. I'll be taking another group to Nepal in 2020, and which involves collecting data through household surveys and looking at the impact of microfinance in their business, agriculture, tourism, their entrepreneurship in their businesses, and how they have helped or not with the business expansion, employment generation, income, etc. So that should be fun.
That concludes this week's episode of Coffee with a Side of Economics. Be sure to join us next week with Dr. Tom Sadler as he discusses the economics of basketball. Until then, have a great week.